Alyssa, if we're watching what's going on in Indiana right now, things seem to be trending in the president's direction. So what message does this send about, I suppose, political loyalty?
If you cross Donald Trump and you're a Republican, your political career is very likely over. Look, the United States is littered with politicians who opposed him as Republicans, and their careers effectively ended. I struggle to think of somebody who was high profile, challenged him, and maintained their place in office. And this is something, this redistricting in Indiana has been a goal of the White House's for over a year. The president was talking to Governor Braun. They had plans underway to get this going. So those state senators who opposed it really got in the way of a core part of Donald Trump's sort of midterm strategy, trying to boost Republicans. So it tells you if you cross him, your career is over, even if you voted with him 98% of the time.
You talk to voters there in that district. What do they think about the president's campaign to essentially punish Republicans who defied him? And what are they saying about the overall state of the country right now?
Hi there, and good afternoon to you. You know, it's definitely a mixed bag in those conversations that I've been having here in one of those districts that are being represented by one of those Republicans who voted against the president's plan to redistrict and draw more Republican-friendly maps. President Trump calling that incumbent a Republican in name only, and even endorsing a challenger for him in this election. And this redistricting battle, based on the conversations I've been having, have been top of mind for some voters. I want you to listen to some of those conversations now. You wanted to see the state redistrict its congressional lines.
That's right. I just came out here to show my disapproval and hopefully adjust it going forward.
There's two candidates that were out here supporting, or one of them that was supporting the redistricting effort and one of them that wasn't. And so because I was not supporting that effort, I voted against that.
Yes, before we go into the full analysis of this clip, something just happened while I was shooting this clip. They lost Ketanji Jackson in redistricting 9-0. The Supreme Court has just rejected a bill to reconsider their striking down of racial gerrymandering in Louisiana. After Alto and Thomas swatted Ketanji into her place, she gives up. Case closed. Kuto has done the right thing and is ending decade of Democrat cheating. Redistricting is now full steam ahead, and the South is going to play hardball.
Voted for him.
A few moments later.
It's coming. Ah, there it is. All right. There's the check mark. NBC News has projected it in Indiana's 11th Senate District. Brian Schmutzler, a challenger backed by President Donald Trump, has defeated incumbent State Senator Linda Rogers. Rogers, one of the Republican state senators who voted against the Trump-backed plan to redraw the state's congressional district. That is the fourth pink splotch you see on the map right here. That means that's the color we assigned to the pro-Trump side tonight. That is 4 incumbent members of the Indiana State Senate, incumbent Republican members, including a member of the Republican leadership, have now been defeated. And all of these 4 incumbents who have been defeated, per NBC News projection, have been defeated.
Yes, if you take a look at this picture, you can clearly see who these people are. Trump-backed candidate win big in Indiana. If I zoom out, you can clearly see their faces. That should signal something to some Republicans who usually go against Trump. This should tell them something. If you take a look at what Fox News just recently posted, 5 Republican state senators questioned in one primary night after crossing Trump. The president-backed challengers against Indiana lawmakers who opposed his redistricting plan for the state, and most of them went down by double digits. What are usually low-profile state races turned into a multi-million-dollar political fight, pulling in national attention and showing how strong Trump grip remains on the party. Nearly $12 million was spent on advertising across the 7 races where Trump-backed challengers took on sitting state senators, with the bulk of that spending coming from outside groups aligned with the president and targeting the incumbent. If this doesn't signal something, some of these people opposite Trump, then I don't know what will.
Hearing, how confident are you feeling? I think it's going to be close. That was always the expectation going into it. I'm still confident that we'll prevail, but it's going to be a tight one. And, given the money that's been spent against us, that's, really actually even a victory in its own.
Yeah, I mean, it's the $13 million is just stunning that that's being spent against you in a Republican-on-Republican race. I mean, it all comes back to your and your colleagues' opposition to the new congressional maps. And after that, I know, Senator, you received death threats, that you said your home was swatted, and Trump has attacked you in deeply personal ways. He called you an America Last politician. He called you an incompetent and ineffective rhino. And he said that you betrayed his voters by voting against redistricting in Indiana. I mean, how do you deal with all that? I mean, you are, I understand, a lifelong Republican. You've been doing this for a long time, and that's where it is now.
Well, I mean, the truth is, I know that Trump doesn't really have any idea who I am or any idea who my opponent is. This is all just designed to try to show that Washington, D.C. can control Indiana. And that's really what this race has been about. Trump is perhaps not as popular in my district as he once was, but he is still overwhelmingly popular. But really what this race is about is how many Hoosiers are going to recognize that all of this marketing is designed to try to tell them from out of state who to vote for, versus how many just believe it and buy it. And that's what this race is really about, because Hoosiers don't like being told what to do, even by somebody that they respect and like, for those that feel that way about Donald Trump.
Well, John, President Trump has been seeking revenge, and tonight he is getting it. He has had a successful effort in at least 3 of the Indiana State Senate primary races, and one of the Trump challengers has failed. So right now the scorecard that the White House is watching very carefully is 3-1, and the Trump-backed candidates is leading in the other 2. What are we talking about here? Why are we talking about the Indiana State Senate? Because the senators, the Republicans who have served for nearly 20 years, each one of them who lost, voted against the president's redistricting plan last December. They said that they did not believe it was appropriate to redraw those maps. The White House has said, we are going to throw you out of office, and that is what is happening this evening. It was a dramatic campaign, millions of dollars spent, and the White House is winning this revenge.
Yes, people are gradually accepting that MAGA is not there. Yeah. People will usually say, oh, Trump power in the Republican Party is this, is that. If I look around their tweets and videos coming out from even the mainstream media, they are now bowing down like, wow, Trump power is still intact. At some point, this should actually wake up some people that have been, going after the president, saying ridiculous things. Now look at the reason why these people were questioned. They have been removed. They have been there for almost 20 years just because they refused to do this redistricting. And now look at this. And the Supreme Court just gave Democrats something they didn't expect. They are not extremely happy with that. I understand. But they just have to take it. I will appreciate you if you share this video. They highly recommend videos on this channel. As of the short clips at the end, that is for what algorithm you always keep. God bless you abundantly.
Eric Holder on not that many.
But right now, they are under threat.
I think is damaging to Congress.
Gerrymandering means citizens' voice in the Commonwealth. But for our gerrymandering and ensure that in the midterms, and we're counting on you to help in.
Good evening to you. Plus, creating a lot more chaos.
Celebrating the win in yesterday's redistricting.
It's going to lose their congressional representation. How do you think the people in the military know?
In support of that,
until the First Lady brought them back with her surprise statement last week.
How does this benefit?
I'm an actor.
Creative content.
Why are you not looking forward to the White House fight?
Well, it's kind of a gimmick.
I have 300.
He's the boss of the party. I think Alyssa stated it very well. He calls the shots in the Republican Party, and if you go against that, he will pour his wrath out upon you, and it doesn't typically turn out well. As Harry Enton has said before, go against Trump in a primary and you wind up in the grinder. And that's what happened in Indiana. To me, what I was looking for tonight was the forward-looking lessons here.